play Harper gets booed, strikes out and returned to Washington. 0:34, Bryce Harper is greeted by a crowd full of boos in his first at-bat in Washington and is struck out by Max Scherzer. 0:34, 8:44 p.m. ETWASHINGTON, better late than never for Bryce Harper's homecoming. Harper, the former Washington Nationals star who made his return to D.C. on Tuesday night as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies, had to wait longer than expected to see how the crowd at Nationals Park would react. Following a 41-minute rain delay, with 2 runners on and nobody out, in the top of the first inning, Harper stepped in against Washington ace Max Scherzer and was booed loudly by an abnormally large midweek April crowd. Although there was also a smattering of applause throughout the stadium, which included several right field sections full of Phillies fans who bussed down from Pennsylvania, the predominant reaction was overwhelmingly negative. After a prolonged pause that lasted longer than a minute, Harper proceeded to square off against Scherzer, striking out on a 2-2-2 changeup that elicited a reaction from the Nationals Twitter account. Thank you. Next, Washington Nationals, @Nationals, April 2, 2019. During his second at-bat, in the top of the third, Harper was booed loudly once again by the standing crowd. With 2 outs and the bases empty, and the Phillies leading 1-0, Harper struck out for the second time in the game, fanning on a 3-2 cutter from Scherzer. In an odd twist of fate, because of the inclement weather, Harper's career as a Nats Park visitor began in exactly the same way that his tenure as a resident there ended. During his last appearance in Washington, on September 26, 2018, Harper was standing in the on-deck circle when rain halted the game after the final out of the 7th inning. According to a Washington Post report released on Monday, it was during that September rain delay that Harper received an envelope containing a 10-year, $300 million offer from the Nationals. 5 months later, on March 2, the former MVP inked a 13-year, $330 million contract with the Phillies. Exactly 1 month after that, the 26-year-old outfielder returned to the nation's capital as a visitor for the first time. On Tuesday morning, Harper posted a lengthy Instagram message thanking Nationals fans. View this post on Instagram. If you would have told me 5 years ago I would be walking into Nationals Park as an opposing player, I would have told you that you were crazy. 5 years later, I'm doing just that. I remember the first day I walked into Nats Park. My first base hit. My first home run. And, of course, my first standing ovation. Nationals fans delivered that first ovation. The things that I will miss most are the relationships I gained on a personal level with so many of the Nationals staff and workers around the ballpark. Every day I walked in, I got a smile or shared a laugh with you. I especially want to thank the Lerner family and Mike Rizzo for the unwavering support they showed me during my tenure in D.C. The city of D.C. was home. Filomena's, the Silver Diner, the Italian store, and countless other places helped make it feel like home. You, Nationals fans, made me one of your own for the entire time I was a part of the Nationals organization. I'm so blessed to have been able to play for a fan base that cared so much about our team each and every night. You will always hold a special place in my heart no matter what. I look forward to continuing Harper's Heroes with LLS in the DMV as well as making sure the legacy fields bearing my name are the best youth fields in town. When I run on the field tonight I am sure to hear some boos, but I will always remember the cheers and the screams that are still with me right now, as I start my new chapter. So for that, DC, thank you. A post shared by Bryce Harper, @BryceHarper3, on April 2, 2019 at 7:05 a.m. Pacific Daylight Saving Time. Then, on Tuesday afternoon, Harper sat at the podium in front of a media throng whose size was more befitting of an October playoff game than an early April contest. It was definitely different, said Harper of what it was like entering Nationals Park as a member of the Phillies. But it felt good, felt normal. After the 3 days in Philly and being a part of that group all spring training, got real familiar with the guys and the city and the fan base. It's been great. just coming to another stadium and try to do my job. Anytime you leave somewhere, you think about coming back. Played those 3 days in Philly, and tried to make sure get those 3 days in, and really enjoyed that. Turn the page to coming here for the next 2. Definitely weird taking that drive to come down here, but very excited for the next chapter, and looking forward to it. When asked what kind of reaction he expected to get from the DC crowd, Harper was realistic. Everywhere I go, if I'm a visiting player, I usually get booed. So that's just part of it. But I think I might get a little bit tonight. I might get some cheers as well. All the messages that I got on Instagram were, "We're gonna cheer you tonight and boo you later." It's just part of sports. I get it. Harper wasn't the only visiting player who received cheers from Nats fans. Leadoff man Andrew McCutchen and two-hitter Jean Segura, who hit back-to-back singles to start the game, were both booed loudly. By that point, the crowd was already revved up, as Harper's name had already been greeted with boos during the announcement of starting lineups. The jeering continued during the ensuing video tribute that showed on the giant scoreboard in right center field. The montage, which lasted just over a minute and featured clips of Harper receiving his MVP award, dedicating a local baseball field named for him, and winning last summer's home run derby in D.C., concluded with a message that read, "Thanks for the memories, Bryce.